So here's my playroom. This is my childhood playroom growing up, but I really wanted to turn it into a craft room. As you can see, it's quite a mess. We've got a lot of yarn. A lot of unfinished paintings, actually. Rug that I'm working on, but we're going to repaint, furnish, and do the whole thing. And I've been wanting to do this for a really long time because I just feel like this room needs to get more use out of it. Like, I just want it to be a space that I can use and that's just like comfy and cute and cozy. We are going out today, but we're gonna look for a paint color that we want to use for the walls. Possibly also take everything out of this room today. Not sure yet. This is day 1 of our official renovation. Let's go.
We started the day by going to the shop to buy some primers and essentials for repainting the room. We went to a place called Vermont Home Builder Supply, and as you can tell from the name, they've got a bunch of home building stuff here. Already, the total cost of what we bought at this shop was quite high, but the stuff on the receipt is kind of giving doctor's prescription. I can't really make out what this says, but I would assume the bulk of the cost is the big buckets of what I believe is permacoat. Before we went to the depot store, we made a quick stop at the yarn shop. This shop is called Lots of Yarn, and they have a pretty wide selection of types and colors of yarn, as well as needles and hooks and pipe cleaners, lots of craft stuff. And off to our next destination, Wilcon Depot. Here we made one of the most important decisions of the room, the color of the walls. The way that my mom likes to design a room is she finds an inspiration piece, something like a painting or a sculpture or even a plush toy, and use that to design the room. In this case, we're using this beautiful scarf by Jim Weaver, and she got it because it reminded her of me and my love for dogs. Plus, when she showed it to me, we really loved the color palette of the scarf and thought that the soft pastels would be perfect for a cozy craft room. We decided to go with this color called Annabelle. It looks kind of dark and dirty, but that's because of the sample thingy, so you'll see later how it looks on the wall. Since this paint isn't pre-mixed, they had to mix it for us, and I find this machine so fun to watch. After we bought the paint, my mom and I went to go get lunch at Ippudo, and ramen is my favorite food, fun fact. Back home, and I look a little bit sweaty already, but we're about to go clean out the playroom, so it's gonna get real sweaty. Ready for the challenge of emptying out the place. Okay, what are you gonna do? Taking everything in this room down and emptying it out was, in a way, kind of bittersweet. All this yarn we're putting away is for my yarn hobbies, rug tufting, and crocheting, so putting these in the boxes was especially easy since they're just gonna go back into the craft room anyways. On the other hand, these paintings from my childhood, some done by my brother and some done by me, will most likely never go back in this room again, so it's goodbye, but maybe I'll repurpose some of the canvases. We went through old markers just to check out ones that don't work anymore, and surprisingly, a lot of them are still very pigmented and bright.
This is all we got done.
To be continued.
Yep, we're gonna do the rest of it some other time. But we did a good job for now. Still have a lot of stuff to get through, a lot of little stuff. And then when we move the chairs out and that big frame, it's game time.
Just some light cleaning and sorting for today, but the next time you'll see this room, it'll be totally empty.
Hey everyone, so it's another day of renovation today, and what's going on today is that the playroom, which I should now start calling craft room, is being painted. My mom said it'll take like 4 days, so we'll see how fast it takes them, but I'll show you guys the progress that's been made so far. The room's also been cleaned and emptied out, so there's pretty much nothing in there. While they're doing the painting, me and my mom are gonna go to a fabric store to look for fabric for the couch that we're gonna reupholster, and yeah, we're gonna head on out.
This was my first look at the room this morning, and so much progress had already been made. I actually wanted to paint the room ourselves because that's what we did for my bedroom, but my mom insisted that we had it done professionally because she has some regrets with my room, so this service is gonna bump up our total cost at the end quite a bit. Anyways, our goal for today was to head to the fabric shop and choose a color and fabric for our couch. We decided not to buy a new couch for this room, and instead we're reupholstering our old couch that we already had in this room because the size and the feel of the seat was just right. The color we wanted to go with was a blue that was not too bright, not too bold, but also not too dark, and a blue that was present in our scarf. This dog had the kind of blue we were looking for. We went through a few books of fabrics and made our decision based on the color and price because we did like several of the fabrics, but the price difference from the one we chose and the other ones we liked were pretty large. So this was our final decision, and I'm really happy with what we chose. And after picking our fabric, my mom and I got brunch at Wildflower and went on our way home.
hold on, I gotta show you guys something fun that my mom and I did. During this process, my mom and I kind of had a whole vision for the room, and we already kind of knew what we wanted to look like, but I don't know how to 3D model, and I was also too lazy to sketch it out. So I thought of the next best way to do it, which is to do it through video games. So just think of this part as like a day 2.5 of updates. But yeah, this is our vision of the room, and it's time to show you guys.
So to do our mock-up model, we used Animal Crossing, specifically the Happy Home Paradise DLC, because I find it much easier to freely design here. I just picked a random house for this villager, and we tried to get the right dimension of the room, or at least get close enough. Our main door to the craft room is actually on the right side of the room, so we're using the main door in the game as the balcony. First of all, we want a cute seating area with a coffee table, and we tried to get a couch closest to what we have. We also need good shelving and storage that would be able to hold a lot, but also look pretty, and I've definitely seen this kind of storage in IKEA before, so we're going with these open wooden shelves. On the wall, we're thinking of maybe having a pegboard or a corkboard to hold some tools and be somewhat of a practical space. But if that doesn't fit the vibe, maybe we'll just stick some paintings or art there instead. Next, we want a shelf for my yarn, and this bookshelf is going to represent that. We might go with something skinnier though, because I don't really think we need a shelf this large just for yarn. My mom loves Persian rugs, so we're also thinking of a Persian rug under the seating area. Above the couch will be the dog scarf, so I'm just using these dog posters to be placeholders. Lighting is also essential for us in this room because to do certain crafts, we want to be able to see certain colors in good lighting, so a little lamp hovering over the mini couch would be perfect. In the craft room, we actually have built-in tables and shelves in the corner, so we can't really pick out desks, and instead we're changing the laminate color to better match the room. We also, of course, had to pick out a cute chair for the workspace. After topping off the room with a bit of extra decor, we were satisfied with the end product, and this was going to be our layout inspiration.
Morning everyone, it's another day of renovating, and today I'm going to IKEA with my mom, and we're gonna go furniture shopping, or at least try to get an idea of what we want. So we're gonna try to find furniture that kind of matches up with our vision. Hopefully it's successful. I feel like we're not gonna find everything, but for me right now the most important thing that we can find is a lot of really nice storage that fits properly. I'm gonna go measure the room before we head out, and yeah, then we'll be good to go.
I took some quick measurements of the room so that we could know the size of the furniture we need and went off to our next adventure, IKEA. Fun fact, did you know that the IKEA store in the Philippines is actually the largest in the world? Well, now you do. I personally actually really enjoy going to IKEA. I'm not really sure why, but looking at all the rooms and the furniture make me feel kind of cozy. Maybe it's because it reminds me of like The Sims or something, I don't know. Anyways, some of the main pieces we're looking for today are storage space like shelves and drawers, a cute standing lamp, a coffee table, a desk chair, and any other kind of decor and bits and bobs that would fill out the room just right. I would say that our search was pretty successful because we did find the exact shelving units we wanted. We also found this super cute rollaway cart that would fit perfectly in the room. Before my mom and I checked out, we grabbed a quick lunch at the IKEA cafeteria, and I actually do like IKEA food, I'm not gonna lie. This is our spread. We got some smoked salmon, a carrot cake, a sausage, and a chicken tendy, meatballs with the other stuff, and a cup of tea. Yeah, this lunch hit just right. After lunch, we checked out some lamps, and in the end we actually didn't buy much, just a couple organizing tubs, small things of that sort, and we just made the big orders online so we didn't have to bring it all home this day, and yeah, we'll be back when it's time to build.
I'm here with my mom, and it's building day! We're gonna build the furniture that came in from IKEA. We ordered not everything, but most things. Some shelves and stuff. Are you ready to build?
Sure. Come on, let's do this.
That's shiny. We both look so shiny.
It's called sweat.
So I really love building IKEA furniture because it feels just like adult Lego, if that makes sense. The first thing we're building is this raskog, which is a cart we want to use for both decorative and organizing purposes. And voila, it's all done, and I think it is a perfect fit for this room. Next, we're building our yarn shelf. This is called a calyx, and it is the GOAT. This shelf is just perfect. It's so convenient, it looks good, and can practically fit into any space just because of how basic it is. This was definitely more work than the raskog, but was still an easy build. I got to bust out this hammer that my grandma gave me ages ago. Shout out Mama Rina. And my mom and I were giggling because it was just like tool after tool coming out of this thing. It was like one of those, what are those things called? Those Russian nesting dolls? Anyways, I love this hammer so much. I also love stuff like this, and by stuff I mean building, because I find it such a fun bonding experience. I mean, anything crafty and handy in general is an enjoyable bonding session for me because I love building and creating. Now, all that's left of this is to screw in the top and the bottom, and it's done. Before we continued, we had a little juice break. And our last piece of furniture to build is in fact also a calyx, just 2 times larger. This was pretty heavy and hard to get out of the box, but of course we did it and we got straight to building. This one took us quite a while and was significantly more difficult than the last build, not because it was bigger, but because of the last piece of the puzzle, which is the drawers. It took us a while to figure it out, and it was particularly hard to screw in the sides of the drawers into the calyx itself because you had to put a decent amount of effort to push the screw into the wood. Like, you really had to force it in. I'm sure someone who was much stronger than me would have an easy time, but it was a struggle for me, okay? So it took us quite a while, but anyways, I was so proud of myself when I figured it out, and we are super happy with just how everything turned out. We did a good job.
Hello everybody. Hello. So we're back for another update on the craft room, and a lot was done, I think, before the last time I videoed, so let me show you guys what's new. Our couch arrived! Yay! Look at this beautiful blue couch. It's very cute, squishy.
Her color.
Yeah, it's the start of our color. And then, let me show you guys the laminate. The laminate. It's nice. I like it. The color, we were kind of spooked about at first, but I think I actually really do like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll look okay with everything on it.
Yeah, so semi-decorate this room.
Set up the printer and Cricut.
Yeah, those 2 things, and then also start to load up the shelves with stuff that I have. As you can see, we've already put all my Legos here, so those are gonna go in the shelves. And yeah, maybe I'll like fit more things from my room onto the shelves, we'll see. But yeah, this is what we're doing today.
Placing my Legos on my shelf felt so satisfying because not only did I get to free up more space in my room, they just look so right in this room, and that way I can actually have something like a dedicated Lego shelf. I plan to collect all the Animal Crossing Lego sets, so what you see here is my Animal Crossing Lego village that is a work in progress. For now, I'm putting up my unbuilt Legos, and I haven't built them yet because 1, I haven't had space to put them, and 2, I kind of wanted to wait for this room to be done just for some ultimate cozy building vibes. Next, we went through my old boxes of stationery and letters to see what I can keep and what I can get rid of, and also to find a better way to organize them. There was quite a few boxes full of just like random things, but I was most happy to find my old sketchbooks from my childhood. It's crazy to see my old artwork and old sketches because they're just so all over the place. I've always wanted to find my own art style, and I feel like that's something I've struggled with for the longest time, but honestly it's also probably because I don't put enough effort and practice into drawing. And I also had the struggle of never finishing a sketchbook back then. I have no idea why, and it makes me kind of sad. Maybe I should make that a goal of mine, to finish a sketchbook. Anyways, onto the printer stuff. This is my first time unboxing a printer, so it felt pretty special, especially since I've always wanted a nice printer for myself. Setting up the printer was a bit tedious, to be honest, just because of the drivers and whatnot, and it took me kind of a while to figure it out. I got this printer in the US when I was there for Christmas, and it's a Canon Pixma G6020, and once all the software stuff was done, I could finally move on to the hardware. This part was much easier because it was just following the instruction manual, and it was actually pretty satisfying seeing the way things snapped into place and also the ink being filled into the cartridges. We then ran our first print test, and the print was crisp. So very happy with the printer. And next, it's time to set up the Cricut, and of course, you have to install the Cricut software on your laptop or whatever you're using. It's a pretty quick setup and pretty easy, especially with Bluetooth. The instructions are easy to follow, and it gets you making your first project in no time. I love watching the Cricut cut through the material. It's pretty amazing how precise and how fast it can cut. Then unload, and here it is. I can use this as a sticker, but I honestly don't know what to put it on, so I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. I also bought some accessories for the Cricut, and it all came in this Cricut Essentials toolkit. I did another test run with the black vinyl sticker and put my dad's nickname on his water bottle, and it turned out really nice.
Okie dokes, so we're just about done for the day. As you can see, all the Legos are up. We also fixed some of the drawers. We've got some keychains, some of my stickers that I've done. More stickers, more stickers. In here we have art materials, lots of markers and paint, watercolors, etc. In here, felt. Here, tools, a little sewing kit. Here is stationery, post-its, cards, stuff like that.
Here is a lot of my stickers, like miscellaneous stickers, vinyls and stuff. And here, fabrics for rug tufting. And we got a marker box. We've ordered boxes to help organize them too. So that is all for today, and I can't wait for the rug to arrive because I feel like it's gonna pull this room together. And we're also gonna try to look for a table, our frame, picture frame for our scarf. Yeah, other things to decorate with. That's all for today. Our rug arrived. You like the rug, Emma? Yeah. How about you, Ginger? You like the rug? Yeah. So here is our new rug. It's perfect. It's the color. The blue, it actually came out to be bluer than I thought, which is really nice because it matches the couch. Yeah, so today we're gonna put up our pegboard, do a bit of more minimal decorating. That is the update for now. Hey guys! Hi! Whee! Welcome to the last part of the video. This is where we will collect all the receipts, tally everything up, and show you the big grand cost of it all. She has already itemized all the costs in this paper. This is like her personal receipt. Here is what everything costs. Laminates and materials, which includes paints, laminates,
Outlets, lights, yeah, anything having to do with the paint.
so that in total costs 18,138 pesos. The labor for that stuff, which is just doing it, that costs 32,000 pesos. So the fabric to reupholster this couch, that costs 7,290 pesos. And the labor for reupholstering costs 11,500 pesos. Framing our dog scarf, that costs 3,400 pesos. All the IKEA furniture costs around 17,530 pesos. And then we ordered again, right?
Yeah, IKEA, the frame board, the pegboard, and accessories for the pegboard, and those accessories.
And that's an extra 2,570 pesos. Our table, and we got like a blue rug over there from Mandaue Foam, which also added up to 4,487 pesos.
This rug is not included in that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
How much is this rug?
about $40.
So 2,000 pesos on top of that. And that adds up to our grand total of... That's so weird. 98,915 pesos.
It's about $2,000.
Yeah, about $2,000. Under $2,000 actually. We definitely could have done less, like I said earlier on in the video. The labor cost of the painting of the room, that's what made it shoot up quite a bit. But the couch, we couldn't really avoid that.
No.
It was either that or buy a new couch, and it would have cost the same.
It would have cost more if we would have bought a new couch.
I think we did an okay job.
Yeah.
If you're balling on a budget, you could still do this.
Maybe half the price.
Yeah.
Refurbished or whatever. If you're a handyman.
Yeah, DIY.
DIY.
That's pretty much it. We are walking into the room. I made this little like Pokeball hanger thing. And then here it is. Yay! I love it. Did this, hung up my ears. I'm really happy with how it looks. I've been wanting to do this for so long and finally like found a way to display my Mickey ears. They've just kind of been sitting in my room. So this was super easy to do, by the way. We just used these little wall hooks. I need to erase the pencil markings, don't mind that. And it turned out nice. Next is this middle shelf. I might move the popcorn buckets to the top shelf because I want to make this more Lego stuff. And it's my little Animal Crossing village. Up here is my unbuilt sets, as you saw earlier. Soon when I start building more of the sets, it's gonna empty out a bit. Closer look at my 2025 vision board. I had a lot of fun doing this. My Cricut space is like my workspace with my printer. As you can see, I've got a lot of stickers in progress. These ones, I really love the print, but something about the cutting is not turning out right, so I gotta figure that out. Got a little mood light, little calendar, our pegboard, my washi tapes, sticker scraps, little clippies, Cricut tools, and marker boxes. Also, we have this chair
This stool, it's ugly, so we're gonna remove it once we find something great. But like I said, this room is like not completely finished yet because it's just gonna kind of always be a work in progress. Might change some things, might move some things in and out, and we also don't have our lamp yet, which should go behind there, but we did order it, so it should be coming after this video. But let's continue. Here is our little cart. It has some of the ink, my rug tufting gun, which I need to get fixed. Here on the other side is my yarn shelf. It's got a bunch of colors. It is kind of exploding right now because we've been like working with some stuff, so it's kind of a mess. This here is my finished crochet buckets, so that the day that we can booth at like a market or something, this is where all my sellable ones are. Here's the drawers. I showed you guys how I organized it. Haven't really decorated the top here yet, especially this big space is really empty, so we're gonna find something to put over here. Maybe like a cork board or something that we can work with. Got my little Jolene clear file. We got a diffuser and a speaker. This corner over here, I'm not so happy with right now. I kind of want to do something about this because it's just not very pleasing. Gonna change that, and then lamp behind there eventually. Here's our table. I don't know if I showed this yet. Yeah, we found a table at this place called Bandawe Foam. It was pretty affordable, it was on sale, and it's perfect. Here's the Legos me and my mom made. Some crochet stuff that we're working on right now. There's a coaster that my mom made, inspired by my coasters that I made. So these are actually coasters, but you can put it in a little pot, so it's like a flower pot. Here's the other couch with the dog scarf. So that's pretty much it. That is the whole room. Here's what it looks like from the corner. So that is all for this video, and I hope you guys liked it, and hopefully I'll be able to upload more videos from this room. If you guys have any suggestions for what you might think would look good in this room, or like little fun things to add, or just little ideas, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'm gonna end this video. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!